Alright, we're going to be replacing the brakes, rotors, and pads today, as well as, well, we're just going to be reusing the bearings on the inside, but this is a little different brakes than usual car brakes because this thing's got bearings, two bearings on the inside and outside. On the, yeah, it's just the whole hub assembly basically, but it's going to be on that ram right there. 2500 V10 rear wheel drive. So let's get started. Alright, since I'm on a grassy surface, I'm leaving the jack stand there. I've also got, I'm leaving the jacked up, and then I've also got a jack stand on top of a brake rotor, just so it's got a big surface area to stand on, and then that's kind of supporting it, but also, the jack's also supporting it. And then I've got this tire under the lower control arm, just in case, because it's kind of a weird, it's pretty, I mean it's hard, but it's better be safe than sorry, you know. So we got to tap this out with a flathead screwdriver and a hammer, and then there's a nut in there. But first off, you can do this either way. You can but I'm gonna be taking this out first, and that is back here, there's two bolts holding it in. It's a 3/8 Torx bit. Just unscrew both of it, and then this whole caliper should come right out, and then, you know. Alright, check this out. This one this one had a lot of life left, but this one right here, check that out. It's all the way down to the backing plate, and then the back's just rusted off, and I'm guessing, actually, yeah, alright, it's just rusted off on the back, even this plate right here. But this we're gonna have to reuse when we press in the brake caliper again, piston. but these are ones from the junkyard that I replaced for him. So they're kind of finicky. They want to go in. So, well, this one goes in. The other side kind of gets stuck sometimes, but I got it free once. But right now we gotta get this thing out first. So yeah. Oh, I just took that out. It wasn't really hard. So there's still a bearing in here, but I got the first bearing out. You saw that there was so this thing slides in here first, and then that's held in by the outer bearing, which wedges the brake assembly between the back bearing and the front bearing. And then in front of that there's going to be a washer, and then a nut that goes on. The nut was just hand tight. You shouldn't tighten it with with a wrench or anything. Just have it hand tight, which is pretty good. So, and then on top of that there's a little nut washer, this thing right here, and then that thing's just held in by this thing just holds the nut in place, and then a cotter pin just goes in through here and then holds this in place. So there's that. I gotta clean all that up and then get the new one of this. First I gotta get the bearing and the seal out of here because I'm gonna reuse it. Alright, so got this stuff in here in the garage. Just because it's a lot cleaner in here, I can clean these up. So I'm gonna clean this stuff up, all of this individually, and then I'm just gonna re-grease everything, just to make it a lot more better. But this bearing's completely okay to reuse, and the owner of the vehicle doesn't have the money to replace the bearings and the seal. So there's a seal on here, there's a bearing right in there. You can hang on, just zoom in. You can kind of see it right there. It's just loose. It's not pressed in there at all. But there is a seal right here to keep all the grease inside the spindle. So what I'm gonna do is just turn this around, get a flathead screwdriver, go all the way into the edge right here, and then just slowly tap it out. You don't wanna hit it real hard because it might damage the bearing or the seal. So we're just gonna tap right here, then on this side, then here again, this side maybe. Just go around. It's gonna pop out pretty easily. So this bearing is just starting to ooze back out of the sides. So I'm just gonna, okay, you see how the front of the brake would be facing down. So the bearings are kind of tapered at an end. So the tapered end is just gonna go towards facing the outside of the brake. So that just goes in there like that. You guys can't really see it. There we go, right there. And then here is the seal. I also did grease that up. I don't know why, but I did. So there you go. And then you get that up. Try to press it in by hand as much as you can. And then you want to get a block of wood in between, but I don't see a block of wood anywhere. So basically you want to get a block of wood and put it on top of this and just hammer the wood, so then that just distributes the weight and it's not going to damage the seal or any other metal pieces here because this is wood. So I have this axle, my spindle nut for the Dana 44 on my truck build. I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, it'll work. This is just gonna surround. It's gonna go around the thing, and you just tap in the middle, and then boom. There is the seal. I think I can. There we go. There we go. The grease kind of helps it get in more as well. So there's that. And then I guess I ended up getting grease all over the gear, but I gotta change my gloves and then we'll put this back in. It's already dark right now, but as you can see, this truck doesn't really have any friction plates or caliper hardware, brake hardware. So here's the spindle, and there is the whole brake. So basically here's where the brake pad would rest on, and that's the top part. All I did was I just got a wire wheel. I just got all the loose dust and rust off of there, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pack that. We're gonna just put a layer of anti-seize on there. You could use brake grease, but I prefer anti-seize. It works good for me. But yeah, we're just gonna put it on both sides, and then along with these two as well, right there. Those are the bolts that hold the caliper in, and these ones, they're not gonna be sliding in and out, but it makes it a lot easier next time you take it out because they tend to seize up inside the caliper, and that's what's holding the caliper in, so you kind of have to take it out to do your brakes. So I like to use some grease or anti-seize, just put it on either this bolt or this sleeve right here, and then it just makes it a lot easier to take out. But gotta go get my gloves again, and then we'll put some grease on here, and then slide the rotor back in, and then everything that we did. Oh, we do have to put the you can't even see. We do have to put the piston back in as well. So there's that. You know what? Let's do that first. So for the piston, I don't know if this is gonna seize up or anything, but I'm gonna use the old brake pad, and then I'm in the way. Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna install this back in. Actually, I'm gonna use the one that doesn't have the locking clip in it, and I'm just gonna put it in like that. They do sell separate. They do sell a piston press, but I don't have it, so this will have to do. You can see this one. Oh, and if it gets a little hard, you can just open the hood and open up the brake fluid reservoir, which I might have to do. So, just a moment. Okay, so I got the caliper in. Got the caliper in. We're gonna grease up this, but first I'm gonna put some anti-seize on. Oops. Kick the chair. Uh oh. There you go. Can you still see? I don't know. Yeah, kinda. Hopefully you can see. But I'm just gonna rub some anti-seize everywhere where that brake pad comes in contact with. And then this is gonna prevent it from getting seized, obviously. So I'm just gonna put a lot on here. I'm doing this before putting in the brake rotor, just so it's less messy. Well, I'm gonna clean the brake. I'll clean the brake rotor when it's on here as well, just because my hand's just full of grease. But I will be fine. Right there. That's about good. I like using anti-seize a lot. I use it too much, actually. Let me go get the grease. You want to just bring that in to the spindle, and that'll hold the bearings, and I'll hold that in. And then what you want to do now is grab this outer bearing, and that just goes in there, like so, usually. Everything will be cleaned up. So tapered end goes in first. Then this one's kind of finicky, kind of wants to be straight. There we go. That one needs to be straight. Pull that in. Put the washer in. The bolt. So there we go. Again, just hand tight. You don't want any. I think I put this the wrong way. You don't want this bolt any tighter than, I don't know, just get it hand tight. You don't want to tighten it too much, or else this is going to spin. So it's a little greasy. I can't really get a grip on it. There we go. Just snug my hand and test it out. You want to shake this just to see if it's all the way in, and then So on this right here, there's gonna be these gear looking things. It's a castle nut, I think, top of a castle nut thing, but basically one of those, between those tips right there, it's supposed to be where the cotter pin goes into. So basically you just put that on the nut, make sure the hole aligns with the hole on the threads where the cotter pin can easily just go into it. And if it needs to be a little tight, then just tighten it a little bit. But usually it shouldn't be. I'm just gonna grab the cotter pin and check where that hole is. Hole's right there. So I think that's good. Pretty sure. Yep. There we go. Castle nut is not castle nut, but the cotter pin is secure. I'm gonna twist this a little bit so I can have it on the outside. There we go. Generally you want to use a new cotter pin, but I don't have a new cotter pin. And I think someone replaced the bearing not too long ago. So those cotter pins look pretty new. Then I'm just gonna bend this back this way. There we go. Then I'm gonna clean all this mess up real quick and then get some more grease in here, just so there's no gap for air to get into, or water. Got a paper towel, gonna get this thing cleaned up. All the mess is cleaned up. I'm just gonna put a little bit of grease on the side. And spin it, just so that you don't want any kind of pockets in between that nut and the inside where the bearing is. Just so in case the cover fails and gets water in here, there's still grease keeping the water out. I am doing this in grass, so forgive all the grass flakes that's going inside the freaking hub. It's fine. I've already put the bearing in. Wait, that's not grass. That's the grease. Okay. Well, you just want to keep spinning this and then have the grease just go in by itself. There we go. That looks pretty sealed up. I'm just going to grab this, clean the mating surface of that cover before I get gloves. So this just goes in here like so, and then grab the hammer. So this that cover is pretty fragile. You just want to tap it with the hammer. You don't really want to smack it. You see can't really see it, but someone's already smacked into it before and it dents it. Basically it makes it not seal up. I don't know if you can see that caliper up there. Right You can't really see it. Let me zoom out. Nope. There we go. The caliper way up there. So this thing just goes in here. There we go. And there's a new one. Go like that. Ditch the gloves, but I got the caliper in. Now it's just these slide pins. They're not really slide. Done with one side.